Your selfishness is destroying you. And I'm about to explain why. First off, let's understand what selfishness really is, okay? So this is just a Google definition. Lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. And this is just a definition I've got out of a book that I read, The Assumption and or Glorification of Oneself. We all know what selfishness is. We all know somebody that's selfish. We've all experienced selfishness, okay? So we all understand what that is. But I really want to get into how it destroys you, okay? So starting off, it means you need something, okay? Selfishness, like I said, we all know someone that's selfish. They don't like to share. They like everything for themselves, right? Moving on, that means they need whatever they're not sharing or whatever they want to keep for themselves. They need that, okay? So that's the first point, okay? Fear/trauma. The reason you need whatever you're being selfish about is because you don't like the emotion that is attached to whatever you're selfish about. You don't like the emotion you get from losing that, okay? So it destroys you because you're binded to whatever you're selfish about, okay? So you're stuck in this small circle because you don't like the feeling of not having what you're selfish about. And now you're stuck, okay? You're stuck. You're selfish about this one thing. That's the bubble that you're in, okay? Let's talk about habit. Habit, everything is habit, okay? So your selfishness is going to snowball. It'll turn to you not sharing snacks. You don't want to share Skittles. Now you don't want to give your friends advice, or you don't want to share the sauce with your friends. You making money, you don't want to share the sauce. It compounds, okay? So it's going to get more and more aggressive. It's like you got to have everything. You got to have everything. And projection. Everything that you feel, you carry. Okay, so everything that you feel, you carry. So you cannot hide anything. You can try, but everything that you feel internally is going to reflect in your personality, your actions, your facial expressions, your body language, the words you choose to say, the clothes you choose to wear. Everything is projection. So that selfishness that's first of all, selfishness is just heavy. Okay? It just weighs a lot. It's a lot to carry, okay? But going back to what I was saying, it shows. You can't hide it. So it's just draining. It's draining. Being selfish is draining, and everyone can read it. You like I said, you can't hide anything. Anything that's secretly in your heart is gonna show one way or another, no matter what. Okay. So my last bullet point is lack of understanding one's own ignorance / avoiding. Okay. You're selfish because you don't understand what it's doing to you. Okay. And that's with everything. Anything that is negatively impacting you or someone else's life, you don't understand why or how it's being done. Okay. So everyone that's selfish they might know what being selfish is, and they might even know that they are selfish, but they don't understand the trauma that it causes, or they don't understand the emotion that they're avoiding that's causing them to be selfish. They don't know what they're avoiding. So I'm going to get to how to break it, but everything is a lack of understanding. And when you progress in your journey, whatever, if you are religious or you're just improving your life as a whole, you're going to start to learn that everything is awareness. Everything is awareness. Your body is limited to a few things. Your body can only do but so much. So everything is really up here, if we're being honest. Okay. So It's destroying you because one, it snowballs into a habit, okay? Well, let me go in order. You need something. The thing that you're holding or the thing that you're keeping dear closest to you, you need that. And without that, you feel a negative emotion. That's what you're avoiding, okay? And I guess like the first two bullet points really go hand in hand because you're just scared. You don't know what you're going to do if you don't have what you're keeping to yourself. Okay. So putting those two together, it snowballs into a habit and it just rolls and rolls and rolls. So like I said, as a kid, you may have been selfish about Skittles. All right, cool. You don't want to share your Skittles, but then you 21 now. Now you don't want to give up the sauce. Now you just hiding everything. Now you don't want to just be a good friend and share knowledge, right? And then that leads to projection because everyone can see it. You can't hide it, okay? You can try. You can't hide it, okay? So all that to say, you just don't understand the damage that it's doing. That's all. And we're gonna get to that, okay? But first, let's understand what being selfless is and why it's important, okay? Concerned more with the needs and wishes of others than with one's own, or unselfish. You become immovable, no longer attached to the physical. This is my favorite bullet point because, like I said, being selfish along with a lot of other things binds you to whatever it is. So being selfish binds you to whatever that you're attached to. And you can't move out of that circle. So say, I wish I could give a visual for you guys, but imagine you're in a circle and you want to step out that circle and something is luring you to another spot, but you just can't leave. You're just stuck. And that's what being selfish is. And that's really what anything negative is. You're stuck. You have to be this way until you understand what's keeping you there. Okay. And I'm not going to really give any physical how-tos because everyone's different. So I can't tell you what to do. You just have to go further within yourself to understand why you're selfish. Okay. Because anything that I tell you, it's dependent on the person. So I can't do that. Okay. So everything, we're just going to talk about mental transmutation at the moment. And it's just peaceful. Selflessness is peaceful. You're not attached to anything. You don't need anything in this world. You know you have everything. So anything that upsets you, or to stay on topic, anything that you don't want to share, now you no longer need. So there is no negative emotion attached to not having it or giving it away or anything, right? It doesn't matter. Have it, right? And you can apply that to anything. Skittles, money, knowledge. I don't need it. You can have it. I'm not attached to it. Okay. So how do we become selfless? First step, understanding you need nothing, right? You don't. Everything in this world that you think you need, you already have. And I was watching a video and a guy was saying, you can only have what you already have given to yourself. Wait, did I say that right? You can only have what you've already given to yourself, right? Yeah. Okay. You can only have what you've already given to yourself. So I say all that to say, you don't need to hold on to anything because you have it. You can throw, like, anything physical you can give away because you already have it mentally. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And the second bullet point, as within, as without. And there are different variants of this saying, but this is just my favorite. On earth as it is in heaven, as above, so below. There are different ways of saying it, but I know I said this earlier. Anything that you feel internally will always reflect. So you can't hide anything. And this goes deeper into perception as well. So perception, perspective, whatever you experience, right? And I was reading a book and it was basically saying, say, for example, a guy, he just put into a story, a guy gets criticized, right? There's two people. A guy gets criticized and one that is still attached to, you could say ego, right? Attached to ego. He gets offended because of, he doesn't like the criticism that someone else said, or slandering your name. It's like, nah, you ain't gonna say that, right? Being disrespectful. Somebody being disrespectful, you're like, nah, I ain't going like that, right? So you're gonna respond a certain way because internally you don't like the feeling that you get from other people treating you a certain way, right? But you don't even realize that they're just lacking, like they're ignorant in their own way, and so are you. So it's basically just fire fighting fire. And the other perspective is basically you understanding that he doesn't know. Whoever's trying to criticize me or whoever's being negative towards me, they are just ignorant. They don't know. And I could teach them. Someone else can, but they just don't know. That's just what it is. So it's really a perspective thing. Selflessness helps with you not becoming offended. Like, your opinion doesn't matter because you're already showing me your flaws by the words that you choose to use. So I don't care. Like, I don't care, right? So the third bullet point, as he alters his thoughts towards things and other people will alter towards him. And I kind of just described that with the perspective thing. Like, you can't get offended, or your feelings won't get hurt because you understand. Like, you're changing your thoughts towards the subject and you're like, wait, this doesn't even matter. Look who it's coming from, right? It holds no value because they're not even looking within to focus on themselves and improve themselves. They're worried about me. So why do I care, right? And the last bullet point, not by accusing others. Oh, I should have put others. Sorry. There should be an S right there. Not by accusing others do we come out of selfishness, but by purifying ourselves. So 3 and 4 kind of go hand in hand, okay? Like I said, if you notice that somebody is being negative towards you and you want to respond a certain way, you just have to realize that they're not purifying themselves. They're worried about you and they want you to feel how they feel. What did I just say? Let's go back. What's the fourth one? People show you how they feel. And when you become selfless, people read that. When you walk into a room, like when people want tutorials on like how to have like energy and people feel your energy when you walk into a room, this is it. When they can feel how, like, you just don't need nothing. That's when real confidence comes in, because I'm not looking for nothing. I am it. Like, you have to, it's just a lot of understanding and going deeper within. You start to understand that, like, it starts with you. And I should have put the quote in here. It's another quote in the book that I was reading. And it was basically saying, like, those who are eager to improve the world, improve yourself first. It's not that word by word, but that's kind of how I read it. Like, don't criticize anybody. Do not judge anybody. It comes with a level of understanding that becoming selfless is just such an unbinding action. And everything I'm talking about is mental, okay? I'm not giving you a step-by-step guide on where to go, who to talk to, what to read, nothing. There's no book that you have to read. You can, because I read and it helps me, but it's not a necessity, right? focus on yourself. It's basically what I'm getting at. Focus on yourself. I am no guru. I make mistakes. I have selfish moments. But when you're able to pull yourself together and understand, then selflessness is a lot more attainable. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Hopefully it's not like too long. But yeah, the gist of this video is that everything is mental, and everything is awareness and understanding. So someone may look at this video and think what I'm saying is nonsense or I'm not being realistic, but that's just a lack of understanding. Okay, so that's another thing. I probably should have put that in here, but I'll just talk about it. Being selfless is just understanding that people don't understand. And that's where the ego gets released in your aspect. Like, the ego gets released because you understand that you just don't know. And that's cool. Like, you're not going to get offended by a 3-year-old that tells you you're slow, because they just don't understand. Not mentally slow, physically slow. They don't understand, like, or you're just going to laugh it off because you you can understand. So everything is understanding. Everything is understanding. Everything is awareness. Slow down, buddy. And yeah, so we're gonna close it out. Hopefully this helps. I can go a little deeper in certain subjects, but this is just how I did it. And last slide. This might be a little controversial, but we're gonna see. That's who I just described. And I may not have done it in the most in-depth way, but if you really study and remove your ego, that's who I just described. So if you want a better understanding, these are the perfect people to study. This is who I just described. I just described these people. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So do what you will. Hope y'all have a blessed day. Peace out.